What up? I'm here to do a redraw of a redraw of a redraw of a redraw of art that I made in 2010. I've made 2 videos before and I'll put them in a playlist, put a link in the description if you want to watch them, but you don't have to, you can just watch this video. And I skipped 2024 and 2025. In 24, I forgot and then remembered somewhere close to New Year's, I think, and I was too busy progging the Chaotic Alliance raid in the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. So I was like, I'll do it next year. And then 2025 came along and I remember during June or July, but I think I was busy with something and then I forgot. And then I remembered again at New Year's. And I was like, I'm too busy re-clearing the Hell on Rails Extreme in the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. So I was like, I'll just screw it. I'll do it in 2026. And 2026 is here. So here's the video. Man, the years just really fly by for me. Time just goes, and now it's 2026. I think one of the real reasons why I didn't make the past 2 videos was because I do experience anxiety when recording videos. I've somewhat gotten over it, and also I keep struggling with art in general, and I came to realize that it's maybe I've been doing too much digital art. And maybe I have to branch out and do something else. So I want to do more like handmade crafts, like stuff that's like real life traditional art that isn't digital. Last year I picked up doing air dry clay pins. It's a FF14 reference. It's a square grape, that's what it is. But yeah, I tried it out and I really like it. I think I'm gonna do more this year and maybe I'll record my process of doing it and I'll share it with you. So I think I'm gonna try out different type of crafts and see what really sticks with me. So I picked up crocheting. So here is my very first okay looking swatch. I've done a couple which look really bad, but this is my first one that looks really nice and I'm very proud of it. And I learned how to do this on Craftsy, the sponsor for today's video. So like I have no experience with crocheting and it looks really intimidating, but I found a Craftsy class that teaches the basics for beginners and I learned from that. If you don't know what Craftsy is an online community of creative, like-minded makers where members can find endless inspiration, advance their skills, and discover their new favorite hobby. Craftsy offers over 2,000 inspiring classes for makers of all skill levels with step-by-step instructions in more than 20 categories like knitting, cooking, sewing, painting, and so many more. So the classes are broken down into easy-to-follow instructions and are led by friendly, award-winning instructors who share their creative wisdom as they provide step-by-step demonstration. So the class that I took is by Kim Worker. The class is called Crochet Basics and Beyond, which covers all the basics for everything you need to know in doing crochet. Her teachings were like super easy for me to follow along, and her class includes bonus materials like a crochet stitch guide that we can use to reference when using other people's crochet patterns. Another pretty cool thing about Craftsy is that you can connect with fellow makers and DIY lovers to ask questions, share ideas, and stay inspired beneath each video. So there's like a comment section where you can discuss with other people. The first 1,000 people watching this video to use the link in my description will get a full year premium membership to Craftsy for only $149. This offer is valid for new members only. Thank you so much to Craftsy for sponsoring this video. Okay, so let's take a look at the art that I have made so far. So this is where it all started. This is back in 2010. All I had was Photoshop, so this was drawn in Photoshop. I was so young, I don't know what anatomy is. I just want to draw a cool anime girl. And then in 2020, this is on an iPad mini, I think, on Procreate. And out of all of these, this one, the 2021, is my favorite because I just like the pose, silhouette, anatomy, everything. But it does have its faults. This sword is it's like that. It's at an angle. It's not great. The details, it's a little wobbly. And you can see that I have attempted to do that sort of edge lighting on the shadows for some reason. So you've got these red splotches. Looks kind of messy. It looks fine though. The stockings don't rip like that right here. That's not how this works. And they're supposed to be more oval, and the skirt is like so weird. Like, why is it like that? But still, overall, I like this one the most. I think this is nice. And then in 2022, so I skipped a year, I was like, let me do that again. But this time I'm gonna record it. So I have a video on that. And okay, comparing these two, this one looks boring, but I like how cleaner everything looks. Her face looks a little bit off, but I do think this one is quite nice. Yeah, it's a lot cleaner, a lot more simple, but with that simpleness also comes with like boring, basic white background. Let me just add petals to fill in the space. Nice. And then in 2023, I do like the hair. I don't like the expression, the face. I did the, that's how you draw eyes. If they're looking straight up, you're supposed to make them cross-eyed a little bit. I think this one, it's a little too extreme. So it kind of looks like, are you thinking what I'm thinking? And I thought I had better anatomy than the others, but taking a really, really long look at it, not just a close look, but a really long look at it, and I noticed things that are just kind of off. I don't know, something about it looks not right. And the colors are so bright and muddled. It's fine though. But, so this was a redraw of this, and this was a redraw of this. And this is a recreation of this. It's not an actual, like, it was a remake, but not a remaster, if that makes sense, like a video game. When a video game remakes, they do the entire thing completely new. Like thinking of like the original Final Fantasy VII and then the remake. But a remaster is when you just do, it's still the same thing, but you upgrade it and it's still the same thing. So I kind of want to do a remaster of this. I want to draw something that's a little bit more similar to this. And I want you to notice the differences between this one and the rest. So she's got like tattoo, like metal stuff here and like some patterns here. I don't know, I'd say like compared to the rest, it's a little bit more, I don't know if tribal is the right word, but the influence for this is from early Y2K MMOs because that's what I grew up on. So I kind of wanted to share my influence, and you'll see why I drew this looking like this. So back in somewhat early 2000s, I played a Korean MMO called Prison Tale. Despite it says Pristin, it's pronounced prison for some reason, and it has like a prison sort of lore to it. It's kind of weird. So back in my childhood, I didn't grow up on Western MMOs, I grew up on Eastern MMOs, mostly Korean MMOs, because in my country we would import Korean MMOs and they would be free to play, so that's what I grew up on. Like this one, Prison Tale, Bangya, Yokating, Yokang, Ragnarok, sort of, or Lineage. I played a little bit of Lineage, and this is what it looks like. It's got that, you know, that early 2000s sort of like fantasy art style, and I was obsessed with this game. It's kind of unique. It's a lot different from these days sort of MMO. So I think this is where my influence started from. It was from all of these like Y2K sort of MMOs. I played Priestess and I was so obsessed with this. I was obsessed with the art from this game. That is where the influence came from, so maybe I should recreate it in an outfit, not the art style, but outfit that looks a little bit more something like this. It's like very sexy for the female characters and stuff, but I think it's so unique. My childhood, I miss it so much. So that's what I'm gonna attempt here. I'm gonna redraw this, but with that sort of influence instead of redrawing these. Okay, so let's see how I do it this year. Oh yeah, all of the artwork you see here is from a website called Creative Uncut. It's called a video game art library. So thanks to them, I'm still able to view all of this really old art. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. Before we start, let's look at the hardware that I use for digital art as of 2026. So for the iPad, I use an iPad Pro. This is the 12.9 inch 6th generation. I got this in 2022. So I've used it for about 4 years now and it's still going strong. The battery is still okay, but just recently, like the past week, I feel like the battery has been draining a little bit faster. I did give it like a hard reset and it went a little better, so I don't know. But the reason I've had it going so strong for so long is because I don't use it for anything else. To be honest, in my opinion, the iPad is so useless. It's such a useless piece of hardware that, oh my god, if it didn't have drawing capabilities, this is useless. Like, just carry a laptop. Why would you need this? Just get a laptop. But I only use this for drawing. I don't have any sort of hard graphic 3D video game on it, so it doesn't drain its battery life so much. Does it make sense? Like, I don't have so many apps. I don't use it for anything else. I only use it for drawing, so that's why it's still going strong after 4 years. The case on this is the Moth Dynamic Folio. It's pretty cool. You can do flippity floops with it. So I do it like this. I hold it like this, and when I go artist alleys and sell stuff, cashier stuff, so I have it up like this on the table and do all that stuff. The Apple Pencil is also absolute horrible. It's not focusing because I turned off the autofocus on the webcam, but still, this is terrible. I do not like it at all. That's why I have this thing on it. This is a pen grip, which makes it, you know, just thicker. Ouch, squeaky. And it doesn't hurt my hand as much. Okay, this is the only pencil I can find. So even though it's shaped like a regular pencil, this is quite heavy. So I don't feel the same pain as when using a pencil and drawing on paper, but I do have an issue with this. And with pen tablets, usually like other company pen tablets, it would have this shape that's like flared base. And if it's got a flared base, you know what that means. It means it's better for your hand to hold on to. So I really suggest you get this if you're using an iPad. And as for keyboard shortcuts, I use a Torbox Elite Plus. I've made 200 videos about it. You can go check it out. I have links in the description for all of the stuff and plus a little few more other stuff. If you buy this one, there's a discount code. The others don't have a discount code, but it's affiliate, so I make commission on it. So hit the links. Before we start, I will be recommending some of the assets that I use in the process of drawing, and I will put slap things on top of the screen where all you have to do is go to asset.clipstudio.com and you just press on any asset. And then if you look at the URL, there'll be a little number there. All you have to do is replace this number with the number that I show up on screen, and that will link you directly to the asset. I'll also put links in the description, but here's the 2 ways for you to do it. Either click the link or you can just replace with the number on the screen. Okay, so let's start with redesigning her and making sense of what all of this is. So this isn't very so there are some sort of armor parts. It's not very knightly sort of design. It's mixed with, do I want to say tribal? I'm not sure if that's the right word for it, but that's kind of what it is. Okay, so anime, spiky hair, up in a ponytail, tied up with cloth. I don't know why I drew that. Okay, so there's sort of this part here, yeah? I seem to have done a repeating sort of green pattern here. Oh yeah, the brush that I use for this is my sketching brush. It's called a Rough 10, I think. Yes, and it's very good. It's a very, very good brush. Anyway, let's, okay, so get the silhouette first. We got the top, we got titties, we got this. Okay, so sort of decorative armband and gloves. So let's go with the mix of part armor. Here's some cloth, and here's straps for this thing. So this is the straps. So it only covers here, but she doesn't have hand stuff. So there's only this, the gauntlet. No, not gauntlet. Bracers, braces, I guess, and no gloves. So she just has the black gloves from this part. This black part is also the same as this. And then there's this part of the skirt. I'm guessing it's this, a lot similar to something like this. Maybe the design, I was inspired by this, but I wanted it to be a cute flowy skirt. So what is it? It's just a metal thing, a little bit of cover, and then this flowing thing. Okay, I'll do similar metal thing, I guess. That's my inspiration. We gotta go low-waisted. This is Y2K, we gotta low-waisted. It pains me though. I just wanna go like that. So here's the sort of thingy. I'm not sure if I like it. I think this shouldn't be as prominent. It should be maybe just, so this big part, this small part, and just have small detail. Sure, but she also has a pouch, and what's this? A small dagger sheath. Let's move that to the legs. Hell yeah. But first the skirt. The skirt in Y2K. You covered up just like that, that was peak sexiness. So I just had a thought, and I'm thinking about how FF10 was the face of Y2K, and then for the girlies, 10.2 was the fashion, this whole outfit. It's they are the it girl. You would have this poster slapped everywhere, and I feel the skirt might have been influenced by this, because I did play 10.2 and I remember really liking it. Never finished the game though. Oh, what if I actually did that though? The shorts and the half skirt, gave her shorts. Okay, now looking at it, I don't really like it. I think I'm not gonna do that. This pains me. I don't like this. This pains me so much. I think I'll just do what this is. Should I add the flap? The flap that they have in all fantasy art? What if I just add a slit to it? Yeah, that's much better. What if I add 2 slits? What if it's just 3 pieces of cloth and it goes like this? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, we're going with that. We're keeping the very diamond-y sort of theme going on here. So far, kind of okay. Oh, she needs the sword sheath. But if I do that, I'm gonna need a strap, and I don't want to give her a strap. a strap. So looking at the old art, this one has no strap. This one is right here, and this one doesn't. So what if I just stitched it like the rest. So no this. Do I need this? I don't really like it, so let's just take it out. She does need the little dagger sheath though, so this, and then little thing, yeah. And then also, okay, I need references for the kneecaps, knee thingies. So that's a Grey Warden from Dragon Age, but let's just look at the knee parts. It looks realistic enough. It's just that sort of shape. I've drawn armor before. I know how it goes, but still, reference help. Yes, reference do help. Yeah, so it's just that shape, and then strap. Yeah, we have strap. Huh? You see that? Does that make sense to you all? Yes, that makes sense to me at least. So in the original, it was just pure square. I just noticed the back shoe. Oh my god, is that a sock? Girl. Okay, so let's just go with everything has this sort, yeah, again, this sort of shape. So let's just go with that sort of shape. Okay, let's just pretend, because this isn't the real thing. It's got the thing, okay. I do want to stick to the thigh high stockings though. It's a nice detail. Wait, do I want to? Well, we'll figure it out when adding color. Wait, I draw half body though, so you're not gonna see the boots, so it doesn't matter. Okay, I don't need to draw the legs. The legs don't matter. The sword though would, okay, so there's gem. Hold on. You go to ruler, symmetrical ruler, and then, yeah, I got the, so we have sword. It's kind of okay, but this is like, it's giving banana for some reason. I don't know, I think of a banana. I'm gonna time lapse. Just watch me struggle with this. You know what? No, I'm not gonna struggle with this. I'm gonna open up Pinterest again. Maybe I can reference Deluxe Claymore. Okay, so what I'm noticing is there's like a main part and a sub part. So we have the center for us. It's this gem, the green gem. That's the center. Then there's the outer. Let's do this. And then another. And then another one. So that's basically what's kind of happening. I think I need a shape that isn't this. Like, I keep doing that, but it's not that. Somehow ended up looking like bat wings. Let's make this the main part, and this right here the sub part that connects with this, and this right here is the hilt, the, what is it called? A cross guard? Is it called a cross guard? And then it doesn't end in a point. It just goes. Or, ooh, and I have this, but I'm not sure if I want that. Okay, so I think I like the sword. The sword looks cool. This is nice. Do I want the flowy thing? It doesn't really fit, don't you think? Or, what if this, yeah? This, and then get rid of the ruler, and then let me cook. Maybe? I forgot you can't see because like the screen is zoomed in. Could be nice. I'll just merge these two layers. Yep. Cool. No, don't merge the layers. Undo. Okay, this looks fine, I guess. Let's just quickly slap down some colors. Okay, I kind of like it. Is it too sexy though? Is it too sexy? Okay, I'm thinking about the stockings. Do I want to add the stocking? So this is the color. Do I add this? Let's not look at her feet. Let's just, yep. Let's look at it like right about there. I'm always in conflict with what I like and what is good for the character. So I like it because I just like having skin showing up on just like certain parts. I think that's sexy. But in terms of character design, maybe this is more consistent and looks better. I'm adding the stockings. Is it subjective or objective? My subjective opinion overrules the objective right now, so we're going with that. Okay, so this is the design. It is done. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Okay, we got the design down. Now we can start drawing it. So in my other videos where I show my art process, I have not really shown the exact whole process because I'm just a little embarrassed, or I just didn't really want to show you. But this is the realistic part, which is what everyone does, which is scroll through Pinterest like for hours and hours before actually start drawing something. We all do it, and I'm happy to know that other people do it and it's not just me. So I have a board that is just called poses for all the poses. Everything is zoomed in. They should have like, okay, but I have a pose for all of these, you know, poses just when I can't find inspiration, and it's a lot easier. And if you're like, why do you have a lot of sexy girl poses? This is for drawing men. I like them fruity. But anyway, the other day I found this. This is super cool. There's holding sword and a bunch of angles and poses, and that's great. Okay, so I'm not quite sure which one I want to go with, but let's take a look at it. Let's have a look-see. Also, oh, I forgot to show you, this is the rough nib brush that I currently have, and I love using it for line art. Okay, so I was looking at this. I think I'm gonna go with the center image because it's quite similar to this. It's quite similar, but just looks a lot better. So when using references, you can just either full-on trace onto it or just like eyeball it. And I normally don't trace over photos only because that the way that I draw anatomy is a different scale from real life, in the sense of, if you look at it, you can sort of think of it as like this. If a human body in real life was like this, the way I draw would be a lot more condensed, and thus I can't use, like, even the 3D models, I can't use it on a scale of 1:1. I can't trace it. If I trace it, I shrink a lot of the proportions just to fit my art style. I hope that understands. I'll make a whole video, but I'll make a whole video about it with like better examples, but that's just to let you know that sometimes tracing is not the best way. So like maybe this sword, yes. Then this holding part, this, and then pulling it out of a sheath. But I kind of want it to be more like this, where she's just sort of holding it. Kinda. Okay, I had a vision, and it's not looking good. So let's just completely change this. This is a normal part of my process where I have to redraw everything over and over and over. I'm looking at it again. I still really like the center image. I'm deviating away too far from the original. Okay, looks kind of right. This looks a lot better than whatever I did before. I want this leg to like be like sort of stepping forward. But did I do that with this? Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's sort of like this. Do I give her big titty? I don't know how to draw big titty. So just round? Is it like this? Still very cartoony face. I keep drawing like really large eyes. Okay, what if I use myself as reference? Maybe not. Let's just fix everything with the power of the liquify tool. Yay. I've been sitting in a silent room while drawing, and I think I'm gonna go crazy, so I'm gonna listen to something while I draw. I kind of want to, you know, do this with the composition just to make it look more dynamic. I should just do it straight first. Okay, let's do another sketch over. The original sketch is like driving me crazy. Okay, I got my little video on. What do you guys like to listen to when you draw? I listen to a lot of true crime, video gaming news, and recently I've been going through all of Frankie's Shelf videos, who, you know, talks about books and stuff, and it's so good. His humor is like right up my alley. It's so hilarious. He's so fucking hilarious. So if you don't know, Frankie's Shelf is a YouTuber who reviews books, and the way he's so mean about really bad books is it's hilarious. I love it. I really recommend it. He was viral on Twitter for like the AI book. Like, it's called Shy Girl, I think. It was most likely an AI book. It's insane. He tore the book apart. Hand pose, yes. Hold umbrella? Where's the reference? Did I delete it? Did I delete the reference? Okay, so maybe hold umbrella can work. So we put this, okay. And then let's put it all the way there. You can separate the wrist. Okay, so the wrist goes like this and the hand goes like this. Bruh. I could just trace over this, yeah? That looks kind of right. But I think I'm drawing it differently from the reference as well. I don't need to sketch the hand. I'll just use this as part of the sketch and then line art on top of it. I guess. Yeah, I'll do that. I don't like tangents like this. You see that the sharp end of this spike right here is also with the same spike as on like her neck collar thing. That causes like a weird connection. What if I just what if I just shrunk it down? Oh, that looks so sad. Okay, now they're kind of separated. Oh, but I'm looking at it now, her titties. Maybe I just gotta shade in like this. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh no. Look at the harsh reality. Oh! Okay, the body isn't so bad, but the head. Okay, the body's really bad. Oh my god. Let's not look at it. It doesn't exist. If we don't look at it, it doesn't exist. Okay, I like this I really like this composition. Do I like it? Kind of. I really like it, but I think maybe or I don't need to. Just a straight composition is good. Because once it's like this, it's nice, but the sword looks more straight. I feel like if the sword was diagonal, it looks better. So that's why the straight angle looks better. Does that make sense? What do you guys think? I think I'm just gonna go with this. I want more flow. I want this here. This is the same issue that I had with the old sort of art, where I remember drawing this and I'm like, okay, I need this. I need a flowy thing. I need a thing to flow because we got the hair flow, but then the rest of this was like static. So I wanted something to flow. I added like a ribbon, same ribbon tying here. For this, we got hair flow, and then we get this, which is some sort of cloth for the flow. So I need the bottom flow, despite the skirt already flowing. I think I need another one where it's like oomph. I looked at something that had a similar sort of vibe, which was from the Prison Tale concept art that I was showing earlier. Where is it? So like this. I think this is what I was subconsciously trying to get the vibe of. We got the sexy top, got the sexy bottom, sexy leg coverings, but she has like this cloth at the back. And this is part of the skirt, but what is it tied to? What if also maybe sort of something here? What if also like this color, like something, you see what I'm saying? Like something like that? A cape? Maybe? It's so weird. It actually looks really nice, but I think it's weird. So, okay, I'm trying out the cape thing again, but it's giving too much of like superhero vibes. So, yeah, this looks nice. I just want little red thing. So see, when you look at it color-wise, it makes sense. It's so stressed out. This is stressing me out. Okay, let's do this. And if I think of something, we'll add it. If not, then this is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna work on this non-stop. See you when I'm done. Okay, my iPad's down at 10%. It is midnight and I need to sleep. I'll continue this tomorrow. It's the next day. Let's continue on this. And looking at this with a fresh set of eyes. Oh, it looks kind of rough. But let's just keep working on it. So when I fill in the base color, I don't use any of those, it turned me yellow again. I don't use those sort of lasso assets where you circle around and it turns, like fills the color in. I find it difficult to use. So just use a paint bucket tool, fill in the layer beneath your line art. So here's the line art, here's the color, and you can see that there's gaps in between. To fill in those gaps, just go to your line art. So first just select the outer sides of your line art with the wand tool. You can either just do it on the line art layer, or you can do like I do, which is go to the colors and make sure that refer multiple is on, refer to all layers, and then make sure area scaling is up so it eats in that sort of, you know, into the middle of the line of the line art. Select the spaces that isn't the art, so outside here, 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 and this space right here. Oh, that's too much. And then you flip it inside. This one reverse, so now what it's selected is just your character. So if I fill, you can see that it fills inside the character. But now you just go to filter at the top, go to correction, adjust line width, and then hit thicken. And then you do this like a couple of times. I have a shortcut set to it. And if you turn off the line art layer, you can see that the color is filled up. There's no gap. Let's see before. Yeah, that was before. And then after. Yep, it's filled in. And now I gotta do the same thing with this, and also just sort of zoom in and fix up all of like any colors that are spilled out. Time to mask the sword, which just add a mask to the layer, to the group layer of the sword, and then delete parts, which is, so this is her, this is the sword, select her, go back to the mask, delete this. So now the parts where her hand is covering is gone, but it still exists thanks to the mask, and that's what masks are for. Okay, done. Now to add all the shadings. I use the same brush for line art for the shadings, and then I blend it out with whatever I feel like. I'll show you the brush when I use it. Maybe I'll blend it, maybe I won't. Okay, time to work on that. Okay, I'm gonna blend in some of the shadows. I use this brush, this nice looking brush. I don't know what it's called, but I'll put it up on the screen and you can go download it. It's just very nice. Okay, so this is the base. It's done. I have one new layer on top, and I'm just gonna keep sort of working on top of it. I'll start with the hair, and I don't think I can really give opinions and talk while I'm doing this because it just requires a lot of brain power. It's really hard to explain, but I do like to add details with this brush. It's not downloadable, but I've made it for myself, and it's the brush I mentioned earlier where it just has this edge. I use it for hair details and like a lot of other stuff as well, sometimes just with drawing details and stuff. So what you do is you just grab your G pen, go to the settings, go to watercolor edge and turn this on, and then set everything to high or just play with the settings, see what you like, and just use that. Okay, I'm gonna do this. What I'm gonna do is add a gradient map. I've been doing this with a lot of my art lately. Set it to soft light and then just go through the list, see which one that I really like. Okay, wait, I think I really like this gradient map. It gives a pretty nice contrast. Okay, so I added like these particles that sort of match the ribbon. I added more density by, you know, just by adding more lines, adding more information. And I'm not quite sure what to add more to this. I think I'm so put off by it because I don't usually draw characters that show this much skin, so I'm like I'm a little lost on what to do. So I'm gonna give my eyes 24 hours to refresh and then come back tomorrow, see if there's anything else that I can add to this. You know, the thing where you like, oh, let me go to sleep and then take a look at this again when I wake up, and then you notice all the mistakes. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay, let's just let it sit. Good morning, it's the next day, and looking at this, I'm going to redo the entire thing. I'll see you in a bit. Hello, it has been 4 hours, I think. I think I'm done. So that was done sort of in like one sitting. I keep adding color correction layers because I think it'll save my life. It'll fix my life. Same with Liquify, but it won't. Okay, let's discuss what happened. So last night after I paused the recording, I took a screenshot of the one on the left here, put it up on my monitor, and just sat and looked at it for like a really long time, just like trying to figure out what's wrong with it. I looked at it and then went to sleep and then woke up and then immediately did this one. So what's wrong here is there's too much detail on here. This looks bad, and it isn't consistent with anything else other than having like the same color as the bow. So it also had like too many lines, just too many details. This here too, it was looking from afar, it looks really messy. I don't like her face. I don't like how I drew her eyes. Yeah, I think having that face fronting angle was like not the good choice, not the right choice. Also, I think I mentioned it earlier in the video. I don't remember what I recorded. I have two art styles, yeah? So there's one where it's like very painterly, sketchy, and the one where I usually draw, which is how I draw characters. It's my usual art style for commissions as well. I was like mixing up the two art styles. I'm supposed to do the one that I'm usually most used to instead of the new art style that I'm slowly sort of shifting into. So that's what happened. Shifted the angle and also made her face look that way more. Also, the small details of like the metal and stuff, I felt like it was too small and too intricate, so I expanded it to have a more clear silhouette look to it. Changed the armband to be consistent with this and this. Simplified this a little bit. I noticed that this right here, this long part, if you hold the sword, unless it's like stuck out a lot more, I feel like it would just stick into your hand. So I wanted her to hold it closer to the hilt. And so I shortened that down and put the hand closer to the hilt. What else? The hair also didn't have a very good silhouette. I was just trying to add more detail with like textures, brushes and stuff when simplicity is best. So clear line art, base color, shadows, and then a lot of blending, a lot of adding more strands to the hair and bits of highlight, just little bits of highlight. Not too many, but just enough that it makes the art pop out a little bit more. But then I looked up my own art as reference and I realized, yeah, okay, my strength in the specific art style is its simplicity. So I feel like the more I add onto it, the messier it gets. So I'm just gonna keep everything simple, and that simplicity is my strength. Does that make sense? I think that's something that you should take away from this is that just know your art style, I guess. Okay, so now let's compare this with the old art. Okay, so here it is side by side, all of the years. I think I still kind of like 2020's like pose, style, and color. I kind of like the saturation, but I think I do really like this year's. But I'm not quite sure when it's compared to the others. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think of this one compared to the previous years? And what do you think of it standalone? I'll put it up on screen, like you can see the full details. What do you think of it as just art on its own? And what do you think about it compared to as a redraw of the previous years? I don't know what to think. I need other people's opinions to let me know how I should feel. I'm just so conflicted. Anyway, that has been the 2026 redraw. Subscribe, stick around so you can see what 2027's would be. If I remember, somebody please remind me. Thank you so much to Craftsy for sponsoring this video. I'm pretty sure it's been a very, very long video, so okay, I think I'll end it at that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay, bye.